This is Larry the Barber Man, and today I am at Barber Connect 2017. I'm here with a team member of Schorem in Rotterdam, just here to get Gio's account of life at Schorem in Rotterdam, the madhouse, the asylum.
Good morning.
You're welcome, Gio. So, how did you find yourself in Schorem? I was speaking to you yesterday at the bar, yesterday evening, and you told me that you was in hairdressing prior to going to Schorem. Give me your story in here and how you ultimately found yourself at Schorem.
Well, the thing was, I started 20 years ago when I was 15, and I went to a hairdresser school, but I went into hairdressing school because I always colored my own hair and do crazy stuff, but my mom was a little bit fed up with the cost of it, because it costs a lot of money, hairdressing, and especially colorings and stuff. The main reason why everybody calls me my nickname Cisco, because I always had a picture on Instagram and it was like with white silver hair, you know, and Demon Don started to scroll at my Instagram and he saw those pictures and he said, "Oh, dude, you know, you're a hairdresser." I said, yeah, I was, you know. And that was my story of hairdressing, and I did a lot of great things and great companies where I worked for, big companies also. But I always had something in my mind that I really wanted to have a lot of experience. I loved the job that much because my first experience was with an old woman where I needed to wash the hair as an apprentice. And she gave me 5 guilders as like a tip. And I was so happy as a 15-year-old guy boy that I said like, wow, man, people give me money just for a massage and something that's been given to you as a talent. And I thought like, I fell in love with that feeling. And then I started to ask questions at that time my boss. And I went to hairdressing school, but as I turned into hairdressing school, I soon saw that there's a lot of women and no men in that scene, and there's a lot of trends. I had a bit of luck because I had a barber that teaches at that school, and so I learned clipper over comb and scissor over comb, and afterwards they started clipper over comb. And in all the experience, I always had the first love for men, but it died a little bit because everything was a lot of hair trendy stuff and stylists and coloring, but I always thought like if I saw like Beverly Hills 90210, I saw the Damon and the Damon, what was he called? He had like a James Dean kind of pump and all that kind of stuff, and I thought that those cuts, they're pretty much gentleman cuts, but with a little touch in it that's also a little bit of hairdressing, but it's still like really square and all that, and I love that. And after that, I just worked on my skills to make everything really square and all that kind of things. Classic.
You're a romanticist.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And then as soon, you know, you start watching movies and all that kind of things, you see the classic cuts always comes back. An Al Pacino or a Robert De Niro always have a classic cut. But it died a little bit, and it's something that we worked on in Schorem, and where Lean and Bertus had the luck and the ability just to get that traditional cut and traditional way of barbering back into the barber world, hairdresser world, hairstylist world. And what they do right now, it's unbelievable how much this business has grown in the last 5 years. It's amazing. It's like so much talented people. But I think like with all the experience that I have with hairdressing and hairstyling, it helped me also be a complete barber as I am right now. Because in the barber world, it's nothing really special. It's just like straightforward, straight lines and everything. And everybody has a skill and his way. And at Schorem, we just learned how we do it at Schorem. We're not saying we're the best or it's the only way, it's always our way, what we do. And I love it because when I walk over here in Barber Connect, I just love how the way people work and is passionate about their stuff. And I think like I'm honored to be like inspirational for other people, and some people are inspirational for me because I've met them right now in person instead of like in Instagram or Facebook, and it's quite nice just to have these people around you that also are inspiring for this world and this whole scene where we're at right now.
So how did you end up in Schorem from washing the old lady's hair and hairdressing? Working your way in hairdressing, how did you end up in Schorem?
It's kind of funny because in the last 20 years I did a lot of salons and barbershops, but the last 10 years, the 2 years before that I'm working at Schorem, I lived in Germany. And from Germany, I kind of was fed up with Germany after 10 years. And there were some personal things, but I wanted to go back to Holland, but I didn't want to go to Holland because I need to be in Holland and work for a normal barbershop or whatever. I wanted to have like a good thing where I'm at a certain level where I still can learn. Because I always wanted to have like someone in a shop or in a salon where I could look up to and said like, I want to be that guy. But just as good or even better, because that motivates me more just to do my job more and better, yeah? Passionate about it. It's not about being better, but as a level, you know, where you get your grades up and all that kind of things. So that's my drive. And at that point, I thought like, you know what? I saw that my cousin knew Daco, and I thought like, he's also a Moluccan, and I thought like, I'd send him a message like, hey yo, I'm curious, I'm Gio, I'm living in Germany right now, but I wanted to move to Holland back again and see if there's a spot at Schorem. You know, why not ask? Eventually, that evening, I got contact with Daco. We haven't met, we haven't talked before that, but it was a conversation from 4 hours or something like that. And it was just like, wow, the passion that just came up, and we really understood each other. And as
so was an employee of
Schorem? Of Schorem, yeah. He was one of the old school guys, one of the first crew members of Schorem, and he actually just gave me a passage, you know, just to get into contact with Schorem. And I applied for a job. I wrote a letter to Lean, but it took a while and it just irritated me. So I sent an email every week just to say like, I want to answer, do you need people, yes or no? And I just wanted an answer. And eventually after a couple of weeks, Lean said like, hey, are you interested? And I thought like, They answered after a couple of weeks. So I said, yeah. But after that, it took a couple of weeks again just to get an invite to come at Schorem. So I thought like, I sent the email a couple of times again, you know. And after that, Lean talked to me, and I just picked up the phone, and he said like, yo, here's Lean. And I said, Lean? And I still was in Germany. I said, I don't know a Lean. I said, sorry, that's not in my friend list. But then he said like, yeah, I'm Lean from Schorem. And I dropped my phone. You know? And I thought like, oh my God, it's Lean. I said, oh, sorry, you're still there. He said like, what happened? I said, sorry, man, I dropped the phone. I was just so nervous, you know. But the thing is, it's just like, that was our first conversation. And as soon as that came, it took me, same as Paul, like 2 weeks time to move. Demon Don, Danny called me, and he said like, are you interested? I said, yeah. First come here for 2 days working as an apprentice, you know, you walk away with, and I did that 2 days, and after that, history was made for me, and now I'm almost 2.5 years at Schorem, and I made my spot over there, and I just love it, you know.
And what was your initiation task?
Sorry, my initiation, I think like I just want to be inspirational, like everybody.
No, your initiation. So Paul said when he came for his initiation, they said,
oh, like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that. The thing is, I went over there. Lean wanted to have two models for me. One shaving, razor shaves, of a clean shave, and any model that's on the poster. But what I did, I took 3 models, and I took like the common cuts, the executive, a razor fade, and a pompadour. And he said like, oh, well, thank you. I spent like 2.5 hours of cutting, 3 hours sweating to death, and he said like, yeah, that's all, thank you very much, you hear from me. That was it. And I thought like, no way. Took like a couple of weeks again, and then Don called me, and he said like, are you interested in the job? And it took me two weeks to move, and that was my story, you know.
So
how
2 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah. Eventually, it took like 3 months to actually be there, and now it's 2.5 years right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
And your everyday experience in the shop?
Everyday experience. Every day is a new day, and I think like every day is a good day to have, yeah. And I think like every day gives, because I've been there in the hectic times where there was a waiting line from 30 to 60 people in front of the door.
Hold on. 30 to 60.
Yeah.
60.
Yeah, 60. Yeah.
6 times 10.
Yeah.
Waiting for a haircut.
Yeah, for a haircut, yes.
Okay.
Especially in the summer months, it's like crazy. You think like it's 30 degrees, you go to the beach. No, they're standing in the front of the door at 6 a.m. just to have a haircut. And you think like, what happened over here? You know, that was a pretty crazy environment where I come in, and I was like the rookie, and nobody knew me, and I just sat there, and the bench was full, and it's a kind of pressure, but also a nice thing, because everybody's like looking at what you do, and the experience is pretty much like, wow, yeah. And right now, where we live at now, at this point, where I'm like 2.5 years later, you see like the barbershop is the barbershop as Lean and Brothers really wanted the barbershop. Not this hypey thing that everybody wants to go to Schorem. No, it's a barbershop. I know barbershop, what a barbershop would be. Like you come in, have a coffee, have a beer, have a chit chat, wait for an hour or 1.5, and then leave, and then come back in 5 till 7, 8 weeks again. You know, and this whole circus that came to Schorem, that nobody planned that. They didn't plan that. It just happened. There was like rock stars in barber world, but it just happened, and shitloads of luck. What Rob always said, it's not that you, oh, I get it in the sky, man, and I just hit Rob. No, man, it just happens to you. And they were at the right time, had a shitloads of luck, and they just did a real good job for everybody, I think, you know. And everybody has a piece of the pie, and we're all enjoying it because we all love what we do. And this is something what I'm proud of, to be a part of. Inspirational, and walk here and greet everybody, say hello, and just walk with a smile.
Do you think you could now work in a normal barbershop?
Well, eventually, that's what my goal is. To work in, maybe for myself, or like do something else. I'm not gonna be old in Schorem, because everybody has this end goal, and I think like this is not my end station. I always was honest about that, and everybody knows that. And I think like this is something what I experience right now, and I see it as a really a higher level of where I am right now, and I see a lot and meet a lot of people. But I think like there will be a time in my life that I think like, you know, I want to be the Eddie Murphy guy, you know, in Coming to America, talk bullshit and just grow old. You know, that's the only thing that I think of. And just think back, and I said like, I enjoyed my life. That's what I think. Yeah.
So would you almost go to the length to say that you've been part of history?
Yeah, I hope. I'm not saying that I am right now, but I hope I'm gonna be a part of something where people will talk about and say like, wow, you know, at that time that was turning point of the barber scene or whatever, hairstyling scene, or how you want to call it, give it a name tag. But that was like, man, that time we bring back, every barber and every hairstylist bring back a lot to what it is right now. And
You've
I think
definitely done that.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, you know.
Gio, thank you ever so much for
I'm
giving
honored.
me your account
Thank
of
you.
working at Schorem,
Yeah.
and I wish you well in your rest of the show at Barber Connect.
Thank you very much.
You're on the Ruzel stand, that's right?
I'm on the Ruzel stand right now, yeah, and I'm doing a little demo at Evo, and I think we're gonna rock this house today.
Okay, I wish you well. Thank
Thanks.
you very much.
Thanks.